Cup Series race with the NBC Sports app. Get closer. Additional camera angles, driver stats, and track information. Download the app and find out more at NBCSports.com/live. Not what Chris Buescher wanted, pushing his car back behind the wall, as there are now 24 drivers that are fighting for the top 12 to make it into round 3.
And it's still, crazy.
Sweltering.
Are you sure it's September? Did I calendar break? Because I thought we ran the Southern 500 last week, and Labor Day weekend is behind us. But
it's hotter here than it was in Darlington.
I'm telling you. But you mentioned, we talked about Chris Buescher, his opportunity to try to go faster is over. David Reagan's going to try to improve. But Jeff mentioned this. There are some drivers that are looking forward. Casey Kane, Ryan Blaney. If they can qualify up front, make this third round, it's going to be interesting because that changes it all. And then Denny Hamlin, the hometown kid, he wants to have a run here. He mentioned on NASCAR America this week how much momentum from a win here could mean for this 11 team. Not to mention those 3 bonus points, but momentum. So it's not just the bubble drivers that are looking to have a great run or win here in Richmond.
He went out this early. I'm sorry. He went out this early. I would have thought that they would have sat and waited, let the track tip come down a little bit more.
With just 10 minutes, does that change the strategy, the ideology behind sending a car out early in case you need to run a second time?
Well, I will say that he's the only one that got the memo, Dave, because when I look on the racetrack, the 11's the only car out there.
The only discussion they had, and Denny said, I am worried about making the final round, but Mike Wheeler, his crew chief, assured him that the amount of time they have spent sitting on pit road has their tires cooled down more than the rest of the guys. Remember, he went out early in the first session as well.
Yeah, that's a good point, Dave. That is really what we're talking about, but I think the other concern is the track temperature. So while his tires are cooler, we said it's hot. At 92 degrees, it's hot, but it doesn't matter if it's 120 or 80. Every degree cooler track temperature is better. So if it is 120 degrees on the track and it cools 5 degrees, that's still 5 degrees more grip, and you heard it right there. That's not going to make it. So Denny doesn't feel like that lap is going to work, but we don't know. How are the tires going to cycle?
I don't know. I think that will make it, but and look, I'm going to play devil's advocate against myself. So he went early. If that does make it, his tires will be the coolest of everybody. So in the third round. So, for a team that really has nothing to lose and a lot to gain, if you go win this race and get bonus points, you can qualify as best as possible. Going early, as long as you transfer, going early, you have the coolest tires on that third segment. So if that works out, they're going to look really smart.
Well, I'm going to say one thing. If these guys wait much longer, it's going to be chaos. Forget cool tires. There's not going to be enough track. This is only a 3/4 mile track. There's not enough asphalt to go around for all these cars.
That Kenseth, he's running out of patience.
I was just going to say, they could play a little bit of poker here with Denny Hamlin and wait until the last minute or two, and then Denny Hamlin may have to go out not even knowing if he's going to get in, because if 12 guys go out and run faster than he does and there's not enough time left, he's got to make that decision very late. As Kenseth, one of his teammates, on the track now. Again, Denny Hamlin, the only one that has been on the clock up to this point. David Reagan now on the track as well, the 23. And David Reagan, again, 31st in points. 11 points behind Chris Buescher. If David Reagan finishes 12 positions in front of Chris Buescher in the race tomorrow night, Chris Buescher would then not be eligible for the chase. And that brings someone back in based upon points.
Look at that, Kenseth. He had a really good run. Still going to beat Hamlin by just a little. No, he didn't beat him. No, he had it.
So about a 1/10 of a second, a little less than a 1/10 of a second separating Kenseth and Hamlin. Marty.
A lot of cars have left their pit stalls and gone to pit road, including Casey Kane, who was second fastest in round 1. You see that big gap in front of the 5 car as we watch Brad Keselowski on the racetrack. Keith Rodden told him to leave that because last time they went down pit road, he was too close to another car and couldn't get out. So we expect this flood of cars coming on the racetrack to see. Sometimes you have to tell your driver, leave me a little room so I continue whenever I want to go out.
Right, you can't have your driver get, you can't have your driver trap himself in on pit road. You have to be able to try to get out when you can. It is complicated. Why? It seems like it would be simple. It's very difficult as a spotter, driver, crew chief, because remember, the crew chief's trying to get some direction, the spotter needs a radio. It's one open line. If someone's on the radio, that's the only person that can be, heard clearly.
And the further back you are on that line, the more people that can pull out in front of you. So you can pull out a line toward the back, think you're going to get a clean racetrack. And the third or fourth car in front of you, he has the same idea. Then he messes up your entire plan. So a lot going on in a short time.
So Regan Smith and Kevin Harvick both are slower than David Reagan. How important would it be for Ron Devine, this is a local track for him? He's
the owner of the 23.
Yep, Burke, Virginia, which is 70 miles north of here. Ron Devine would love to have a great showing for his team. And David Reagan, right now, is looking fairly impressive in the top 6.
Kevin Murray.
Another impressive car. So I was just thinking, is this one of Jamie Murray lost a little bit of pace off? Let's see if he can back his entry up. Looks like he's still gained some time on entry. That concerns me for the exit. I'm not sure that it's going to work, although Kurt Busch is trending well ahead in the green. As well as you look down there, we have 4 cars still compared to 1. Now remember, the goal is still only the top 12. You need to make the top 12 to advance to round 3.
Busch fastest, 21.891.
Newman up to 5th.
Very impressive for Newman. Faster than McMurray in this session.
I'm still waiting, though.
Murray 3rd. He heard you.
Yeah.
He heard you, Rick.
Lap.
I'm still waiting for Casey Kane and Ryan Blaney. We mentioned those two drivers that Jeff, you and I feel could win at this racetrack.
Well, you don't have to wait much longer for Casey Kane. He's out on the track as Newman is trying to find some more speed.
Jeff Gordon at 9th, Trevor Bayne at 12th.
Martin Truex Jr., emotional win a week ago from Darlington, out on the track. Jeff Gordon in the 88. And 24 drivers trying to fill 12 spots.
That was a good lap for Jeff Gordon in the 4th position. His teammate here, the 5 of Casey Kane, though, he needs a good lap, and right now it doesn't seem like he has the speed in his car. They'll have to run a 2nd lap. I don't believe they can just stop here being in the 12th position. He needs to try to improve.
A lot of pressure on this team. They just haven't delivered this year like everyone expects. That is a better lap, though.
Yeah,
Coming on turn 1, definitely better.
Keith Rod, that's the crew chief for Casey Kane on the left of your screen. You can see almost the pressure and just staring at that monitor, wanting to see some improvement. He jumps up to 7th.
37 right now.
Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, right ahead of Jimmy Johnson.
Just below him. Kyle Busch, who was very fast in round 1, now 12th quickest on his first lap. Will he find more speed on the 2nd lap?
Drove in the corner. It wasn't for lack of trying, I can tell you that. He got in the corner a little deep, wasn't able to hold the bottom, but still 4th fastest. Good job. That should do it.
Austin Dillon, 0.2 of a second off. He's 11th. Inside the top 12, though. Just about 2 minutes to go in round 2.
Some fast cars have yet to go. Kyle Larson and Ryan Blaney, they're on the track now, or at least Larson is out on the track now.
Austin Dillon's 2nd lap, a little bit better, 10th quickest.
That could be a big, one position could be a big difference for this 3 car. We'll see. Can Kyle Larson move himself up into the 3rd round? Yeah, that looked like a good, maybe a little late back to the throttle, but it looked like a good turn 1 and 2. Very in control. On the left side of your screen, you have Ryan Blaney. On the right side, Kyle Larson in that 42 car.
Goes across the stripe, and he's 4th quickest.
In 1 lap, Rick.
And you heard him shut it down. Kurt Busch, Mark Truex Jr., Kyle Larson, all on their first lap turned 3 of the 4 best times.
Blaney's 2nd lap is much better than the 1st lap. He's a 10th off getting into turn 3. Let's see if he can carry his speed to the start-finish line. Nice there in the corner speed.
Off of turn 4.
Go again, keep going.
You can go again.
Wearing to 12th, so they need to be in the green. Ryan Blaney still currently there, but Edwards is in the green, and so is Kevin Harvick. Can Kevin Harvick move forward?
Edwards falls out of the green on this lap. So does Harvick. Trevor Bayne barely in the green. And then into the red. Everyone has taken at least a lap. Now with just 23 seconds to go, they have to be to the start-finish line if their lap is to count prior to the clock run down to 0.
And Edwards is right on it. Rick looking at 06, 05 thousandths of a second. Can he get it done in through turns 3 and 4? He gained it going in. It's going the right direction. Will it be enough?
Oh, 13.
But he has time with 2 seconds left.
He just was told, keep going. You got one more.
Yeah, but you can see how much the tires are falling off. He's almost a tenth of a second down. It's just so hard. You have to put it all together when conditions are right, and the tires are in that position early in these runs.
Not going to do it on the last run.
Reminding everybody that,
Oh, by the way,
I can still do this.
that's right.
And I still think his teammate, Casey Kane, we've been hard on this 5-car, Jeff. We've wanted to see production out of Casey Kane, wanted him to run for race wins. The pressure, the season on the line here at Richmond, and here he is in round 3.
And if he can find a way to win this race Saturday night, all that'll be forgotten, right? It'll
Absolutely.
be, hey, we did exactly what we needed to do to get into the chase. So there's so much pressure on that team.
Ryan Newman, 15th, doesn't make the final round. The guy he is shooting for in points, McMurray, in the final round. We'll talk to the drivers next.